What's up, guys? Welcome back to the JP and Trav Show on the JP and Trav YouTube channel. As always, it's your host with the most, JP. And to my right, I have my esteemed co-host, colleague, brother, and friend, Travis J. Davidson. Travis, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling great. Feeling great. Just got done with a little dinner, got back home. Time to kick it with all of our friends. So we made sure to hit the live button this time right away. So that's good. But yeah, it was a good day. Did a little radio this morning with Josh Helmer over on KREF. I'll be doing the same tomorrow. So I've been getting a lot more radio run lately. You know, season's right around the corner. It's time to talk.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy, man. It's like, what, 3 weeks just about away? And we'll be hopefully kicking some Arkansas State tail at the Palace and the Prairie. So, yeah, it's looking exciting. Been a lot of camp notes on all the sites, obviously. And if you guys pay attention, you probably heard OU Insider talk about some of that as well yesterday on their show. But for me, one of the biggest things going on right now is recruiting, as we are just, what is it? Today's the 10th. Today's the 10th. We're 4 days away from decision of one Williams Nwaneri. Finally got it right. Nwaneri. And we are, the number one player in the nation. Looks like OU is sitting decently pretty. So, lots can happen, obviously. Mizzou has certainly made their run and runs, and I'm sure they'll try to make another one. But as far as I know, it's looking positive. Trav, what do you got on that, man?
Yeah, my confidence has never wavered on Williams Nwaneri. Um, I mean, I have assumed eventually he will be a Sooner, and like I said, whether that's Monday or whether that's on signing day, I think he's coming home. So I know Missouri fans have had a lot of fun with us and whatnot. Some of them are some pretty good trolls, and then some of them bite off a little bit more of the shit talk than they even got ready for. So anyways, this is gonna be just fuel for their fire. But if I had to go up against anybody in a eventual flip situation, even if he doesn't commit to us Monday, which I fully expect him to, I'm glad it's Missouri.
Yeah.
Because if this was a Peyton Pierce situation where we got to try and flip a guy from Ohio State that's probably going to win 10 or 11 games, or like a Caden Durham where we got to try and flip a guy from a team that's probably, LSU's starting off as a top 5 team in the country. Like, if Nwaneri were to go to Georgia and we had to try and flip him from there, that might be tough. But, I've said for a year now, probably, or at least since the end of last season, that I don't expect Drink to make it out of next season. He hasn't shown us any reason to believe that he will. I think he's a Sooner, and I think it's, you get him in the boat. I think even Jaden Nickens. I think we're sleeping on this Jaden Nickens recruitment. I won't lie. That dude is a monster. He's the real deal. So it's if Jaden Nickens were in this class, like OU's 2024 class, he would be the highest ranked receiver that we have.
Yeah.
And we feel real good about our receiver class this year.
We sure do.
Yeah, this guy isn't getting a lot of talk. He's committing in 2 days here in Oklahoma City. He's a 4-star on ESPN in basketball as well. Top 100 player, consensus 4-star in football. Dude's a freak athlete. And now we saw Josh McQueeston put in a flip. Parker and Brandon have both said that they would put in a flip if Rivals allowed it, but the software doesn't allow it. So far, there's at least 3 OU people that say Nate Roberts is going to flip from Notre Dame. That's the number 2 tight end in the entire country. Number 2 tight end in the entire country, number 2 player in the state behind C.J. Nixon. And there is a world that exists where OU could land all 6 of the top 6 players in the state in 2025, and 4 or 5 of those are going to be top 100 guys. So in the most loaded class, maybe in Oklahoma State history. Like we might
I thought
land.
Oklahoma was like Nebraska, Travis. I thought Oklahoma.
Yeah, going to be like Nebraska.
I thought we didn't have no talent in the state of Oklahoma. Isn't that what was said? I'm sorry.
I didn't realize moving to the SEC was going to pick us up and move us into the upper Midwest, but it is what it is. As far as Taylor Thomas is concerned here with the question, what are the chances of Jaden Nickens come to Norman? I would put those chances at a very high likelihood. Very high likelihood. I think he ends up in the class. So I don't think it's any mistake that he took his visit and decided, hey, I'd like to go ahead and shut it down and commit soon. So feel good about him. Obviously, you got Isaiah Mosey that wants to announce probably soon as well. You'd have 4 wide receivers in the class before before the turn of the year, right? I mean, probably before they're even done with their junior year in high school. So, yeah, it would be big time. While we've always had, some good talent in Oklahoma, this 2025 class nationally is looked at just completely differently. So yeah, exciting. Kevin Sperry's been nails. I mean, he moved here in order to be closer to campus, to help recruit. I mean, he said that he wanted to be closer to campus to help recruit. So he's done that. Obviously, going to put together a nice year at Carl Albert. He's on the team with a bunch of dudes we want, like Marcus James, Ternay Washington, Tristan Haynes, these kind of guys. So I think he's going to push them along and say, hey, go ahead and commit now, and let's get this thing in for the next 2 years. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, absolutely. And it's so exciting to see what Oklahoma's doing in the 25 class specifically. And that class looks like it's going to be special. I feel like we've said that obviously about the last couple. I mean, now 23 was number 4 in the nation. This one is looking like it's going to be potentially top 5 again. Some people think it could be top 3. I mean, when you think about maybe getting Stone and McKinley and Maneri and Smith, like that, and especially the guys that those are on the defensive line.
And Okoye already
with
Wyatt Gilmore in there, who's going to shoot up the rankings.
Yeah.
A haul, dog. And that's the thing. You still have a lot more to add, right? I mean, you've got Grant Bricks.
Yep.
You've got Eli Bowen.
Mm-hmm.
You've got either Devin Jordan or maybe another corner. You've got Michael Boganowski still yet to announce. You've got a bunch, to be honest. I think this class honestly could get to 30. Parker and I listed off the names the other day, up to 29 or 30 kids if you get everybody that you want. So, I mean, not done with offensive linemen. I mean, it's a lot of them. So Cameron says on 247, they said UCF dominating the Big 12 recruiting. Is that true? The reason it says they're dominating Big 12 recruiting is because 247 considers OU and Texas both SEC teams in the recruiting rankings right now.
I was going to say, I was like,
because the 2024 class will be an SEC class. So, yeah, they're dominating Big 12 recruiting, but
I was going to say, sound a little bit like Mr. Yormark over here talking about,
it's like being the tallest. It's like being the tallest little person. The tallest little person is the dominant Big 12 recruiter.
Yeah. Yep. Big 12 has always gone through Oklahoma and Texas. It's just a fact. There's no way around it. There's no way arguing about it. We're going to do a little bit different this week. Early on, I'm going to ask you guys to ask questions related to recruiting. So let's ask questions now about recruiting. We'll talk about that, and then we'll get to fall camp. And then we want to potentially hit a little bit of scheduling, or the schedule, for this coming fall. What's up, Trav? You got something?
I forgot Andy Bass when I was listing off some things. So I just saw Stephen G.
Oh, Andy Bass, yeah. Mm-hmm. Any questions about recruiting, guys, before we move on to just talking about fall camp and then the upcoming year a little bit?
I'm sure they'll throw some out there. Sooner Cowboy says Texas fans feeling confident about McKinley now that Texas got Simmons. Okay, cool. Texas fans felt good about Selman Bridges. They felt good about Corian Gibson. I mean, those recruitments, Colin Simmons and Dominic McKinley have nothing to do with each other. They're not from the same state. Like, this isn't a Texas kid that is around Duncanville situation. I know Duncanville has good LSU ties, but apparently not good enough to land Colin Simmons. So I think, I think Stone and Jaden Jackson are better peer recruiters even than Colin Simmons, even though Colin Simmons is saying, everybody get ready to flip. Okay. We'll wait and see what's up.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see what's up.
Even
Thoughts on Williams, Nwaneri, and Dominic McKinley. I mean, you could do a whole show just on that. But in short, I'm confident with Williams Nwaneri. I think for those of you that have seen Fast and Furious, I think Missouri might have used their NOS a little bit too quickly, a little bit too early. Gave us some time to kind of punch back and wait till we were closer to the finish line to hit our NOS button. You can't give a school like Oklahoma time to react and punch. So I know Clint Cosgrove, put that crystal ball in or future cast and felt good about it, and Gabe ended up following suit. But when Gabe Yarman puts on his own insider board that, it just happens to be really good for business when I put in crystal balls, and I'm at 80% on my crystal balls for a career, like, Gabe's extremely well sourced, but he's also a really smart guy. I think this isn't probably the first time that he has drummed up a lot of business and subscriptions based on his crystal ball usage.
Yeah.
Because he's smarter than an 80% success percentage. He's better sourced than that. So if you're that well sourced, you don't have a success rate that's that low. So David Berry. Everybody was saying, who's David Berry 2 days ago? Sounds like David Berry is the truth. Fong who?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, it is what it is. They don't believe the numbers they're throwing out. Oh, I heard it was 750. I heard it was $1 million. I heard it was about it's all speculation, and it's a way to get clicks. It's drama. It's bedwetting is what it really is, from Sooner fans. I got a text from a Missouri fan saying, what's OU's number? Shit, I don't know. Just like that person doesn't know what Missouri's number is. It's all speculating.
Yeah.
So and also you can't minimize this recruitment to just a number. You can't just say, oh, well, what's OU's number? Oh, it's not as big as Missouri's? Okay, cool, we're getting them. It's not what it is. There's so much else that goes into a recruitment. So, yeah, people got all wrapped up on the NIL side of this, and quite frankly, it's a bit annoying because people are, again, saying things that are pure speculation that don't fully understand how NIL even works. It's incredible to me. He's not getting a bag of cash dropped off at his doorstep when he commits to Missouri. If he were to commit to Missouri, I should say. It's just not the case. So there's incentives, there's potential, there's upside, there's all this kind of stuff. There's only a certain amount of it that is cash up front. And I honestly, like I said, I think he ends up signing with OU anyways. And I think that he commits to OU on Monday. As far as Dominic McKinley is concerned, I've said from day one that he wasn't going to LSU. I know everybody gets hung up on the it's a defensive lineman in the state of Louisiana. I have it on very good authority that LSU did not handle that recruitment well. LSU needed time. And McKinley's talking about moving his date up. So that is not good for LSU. So I know everybody says, they're top two. No, right now I would argue that Texas, Oklahoma, and Ohio State are all top three, personally.
Yeah.
Now, in that order, I feel like OU probably has the lead right now. We'll see if anything changes, but I feel like OU has the lead right now, and I feel like guys like Jaden Jackson and David Stone can lean on him decently effectively. More so than Colin Simmons can, personally, because they're not going to be they're not going to be interior defensive linemen are better at recruiting interior defensive linemen because they can pitch playing in the middle next to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They play the same position. They talk about, teaming up. in the same position. It's different than just like it's definitely different than like a Peyton Bowen, Jackson Arnold type situation. But and it's different even than like a Nwaneri and Kamari Moore situation. Like the two interior guys, that's a tight bond. So having Jaden Jackson and David Stone working on that recruitment is going to be big time. What'd you say? Yes, I will. I think they'll change it twice. I think they'll change it going into this season, and I think they'll change it going into the SEC. I hope they open up South Oval. That would be where I think that would be the coolest spot to have tailgating, just on the other side there. I mean, it's got natural grass, or it's got grass in the middle, and then it's got kind of a natural bowl around it with a walkway.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. You've got the library right there you can look at. It's just a lot of really cool area that's not far from the stadium. Like you go to a lot of these places and they don't tailgate right next to the stadium. Like it always doesn't have to be like, hand on the wall of the stadium, hand over here on the grill type situation. Like it's going to get better. I know that much. I see if McKinley chooses OU, where do they finish in the rankings? Hard to say, but probably top end ceiling is 3. Ceiling is 3. If he ends up choosing the Sooners. So, I mean, you would have 4 5-stars at that point. Bricks will probably be top 50. Nigel Smith will be top 50. Zion Kearney will be up there. Taylor Tatum's already, like I said, a 5-star, one of our 4 5-stars. Denny Okoye, if he joins the class, he'll jump up. He'll probably be top 100, 150. Yeah, I mean, it's got the possibility, especially because the numbers. You're going to end up taking a lot of people. And if you just consider what our average recruit ranking will be and then add it, 29 people in it, it's going to be a good class. And it's, like I said, if we add McKinley and we get the rest and we get Stone and Nwaneri, then I think like the low end of the class is like 5. Very low end.
Which, hey, back-to-back top 5 classes? We'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do. Obviously, you got to develop it, but you've really got to
in that way.
I got to keep checking on my slow draft. People get like 5 hours per pick. I'm not up for a little bit. I picked
already. You doing a draft already?
It's the college one.
Okay.
Yeah, that Thor got me in. It's wild, man.
Damn. Yeah, college would be wild. It's a lot of teams.
It's 50 teams.
Okay.
And you break it up into like leagues. So we have like the Big 12 and like I think like the American or something. No, Big 12 and the MAC or something like that. So like it's interesting. I've got Brennan Presley, Dylan Gabriel, Javante Barnes, Jaleel Farouk, Drake Stoops, Austin Stogner. And then I had to pick some people so I wouldn't be empty on a bye week. But it's a heavy OU team, so I'm confident in this year's offense.
Yeah.
DGD and you're talking shit. Better look next year with that number 1 class. We'll see how many of them are arrested within the next 6 months, and then we'll come back to it.
You're also acting like Nwaneri for sure going to Mizzou. We ain't got no intel, DGD. Come on, man.
This guy.
That's our guy, though. All right, let's talk a little bit about fall camp and some of the reports we've been hearing throughout the last week or so. Trav, who's somebody that, I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but, who's somebody you've been hearing has been making waves?
Caleb Hicks, Gavin Freeman, of course, Lewis Carter. a lot of young guys, but the young guys tend to pop early because it's not very there's not a lot of install yet. So it's like a lot of it's very simple early on. It's kind of like you think about it like preseason football. Like everything's very basic, very vanilla early on, and then you just continue to add. Obviously, Jaquez Petaway is looking incredible. What I really liked what they did was on Twitter they pulled out that video, which was really cool, of them saying, like I think Billy Bowman was talking about Josiah Wagner. I think it was Jaleel that was talking about Jaquez Petaway. And then it was Isaiah Coe talking about Dejon Terry. And it was like, that was really cool because I don't think they've ever done that before. Highlight some of the newcomers. And I'll tell you what, Dejon Terry is going to be a beast in the middle. I mean, that guy's played. He played at Tennessee, had a massive goal line tackle against Alabama that made the highlights. And Bates can coach, man. And I think that's one of the reasons I think we land Dominic McKinley, because like he's helping with Nwaneri. That's like a Chavis special. David Stone is definitely a Bates thing, but he's also from here.
Yeah.
The real Bates flex on a moment will be if he can pull McKinley. But there's a reason that he's regarded as such a great recruiter.
Yeah. Man, if that happens, the receipts are going to be rampant. Just wait. I mean, so much.
We got to. All OU Twitter got ahead of themselves when Parker put in that note the other night. I'm like, hey, let's relax.
Yeah.
With Parker's note, Nwaneri's not in the boat yet. We got to wait. So, okay. I saw Smith just had another crystal ball out of Texas. I was like, Nigel Smith ain't going to Texas. Nigel Smith's going to OU. But that was cleared up by old Kim. But, the D-line ought to be vastly improved. Not only do you have Jordan Kelly, who is still improving, looks really good.
Yeah.
Top 2 and strongest guy on the team. We're told by Grayson Halton told us that. He says Isaiah Coe's got him a little bit, but I mean, one more year under Bates is always good. You bring Dejon Terry in. I mean, that's big time. I think Kelvin Gilliam's going to have a big year in the middle. He's up to 299. You got Grayson Halton up to 290. I mean, you've got some bigger bodies. You got Jonah Laulu, who's moving really well. They're in the middle. Like, yeah, our D-line rotation is going to be great. Our edge is probably the deepest on the team. It's either that or safety. Like, deepest position on the team.
Yeah.
So, all right. Some of y'all joining late. I talked about McKinley recruitment not but 6 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah. Just go back.
You guys are late. I think OU leads. We'll see. He's not going to LSU. Prime contenders are Texas and Ohio State. Mom really likes the Soul Mission. Mom really likes Bates. Their faith-based recruiting, as one coach told me, the Jesus freaks that we got in Norman will appeal to the McKinley family. So I like where we stand in that. But again, going 3 for 3 with 5-star defensive linemen, God, it's tough. It's tough.
That'd be crazy.
But we'll see. Topher, I didn't say that. I said we led. Topher, put words in my mouth.
Don't go out to the Twitter saying that, Topher. How many sacks do you think OU gets this year? Ooh, how many did we have last year?
More than last year? I don't know. I think we have at least one guy with double-digit sacks. Probably another threatening to have double-digit sacks.
Okay. So you want to say like 25 to 30?
I don't even know how many we had last year, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I will say 25% more than last year. Whatever last year.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat if you know, or if you can find it real quick.
That's just an odd question. I've never been asked. Like, that's like saying, how many receiving yards do you think we have?
Jimmy, are you saying we had 40, or you think we will get 40? 40 is a lot, I think, on the team. Yeah, no, we didn't have. There's no way we had 40. Okay.
Yeah,
Good shit.
BB Schwartz. When you say we'll have a tight end flipping from the Gold Domers as well, that's a 2025 recruit, not a 2024 recruit. So we got to keep that in mind. That 2025 class going to be jumping. We will get 40 this year. Yeah, I mean, don't see why not. I mean, it's not maybe not 40, but I mean, break it down. There's 12 games in the regular season. I mean, can you get 3.5 a game? I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. That would be night and day. Night and
Yeah.
day. Because it seemed like last year we couldn't get pressure forward.
Well, Reggie Grimes, the Downs had a good opening to the season, but then
28 sacks last year.
We will have more than that this year. I would bet a significant amount of money that we have more sacks this year than last. BB Schwartz asked about limited and the amount of recruits. I don't know about limited. It all depends on roster. Like, if guys leave early, if guys want to transfer out, like, imagine if some receivers transfer out or something like that. Like, it's got to be tough because, like I said, we're going to bring in 29 or 30 this class alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like we're thinking of, like, keep in mind, like, think of the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, we were talking about somebody or talking about people in August. And then we ended up signing people that we hadn't even heard of. Taylor Wine. The year before was R. Mason Thomas. Like, these guys, like, our coaches like to watch senior years. And there's a lot of guys that just don't pop until their senior year. So when you're looking at classes, like, you have to consider, and like even late, like Champ Sanders, like these type of guys, like, you may not, think about them until late. So we're going to have somebody in this class that we have not heard of yet because it's going to be a late offer and we'll grab them. So
yeah.
I've talked about Nickens to start the show. Lori, were you late? I'm going to have to ground you like when Aries' parents did. We were talking Niggins earlier. He plays for Sooner 7. Derek Rasmussen, awesome kid, showed up here in Broken Arrow with Sooner 7, and he dominated 6'3", 190. He would be the highest ranked receiver in this class if he were in 2024. He's a 4-star. He's a consensus 4-star in football. 88th ranked player according to 247, I believe. And he's also a 4-star based on ESPN basketball rankings. So, yeah. Nickens is that dude, and I fully believe he'll be in this class.
I don't think so, in my opinion, for this
Not
question.
the starting lineup. No, not the starting lineup. The top two are too good.
Yeah.
And too entrenched.
Yeah.
He'll crack the rotation probably because they want to be deep there. But if it becomes the Sawchuck and Barnes show through the first 3 quarters and then the Caleb Hicks and Tawi Walker show in the 4th quarter.
Uh-oh, Trav. They're going to say you did it. They're gonna accuse you again.
What'd I do this time?
You left Eminem off the list, dog.
Oh, God. He's going to be for overtime. We're holding it for overtime.
You're going to say you brought up Tawi Walker instead of Marcus Major?
Grayson Holton said
Here we go. Top 2+ major. Don't forget.
Grayson Holton. Oh, God, here they go. Grayson Holton said Tawi Walker was the most painful to tackle.
Oh, that's funny. It's fine, guys. Trav doesn't hate Marcus Major. We just haven't seen it. So,
yeah, I mean it. Like I've said multiple times on the KREF airwaves on this podcast for multiple years now. Nobody wants Marcus Majors to succeed more than I do. I want him to do well. I really want him to do well. I just can't assume it's going to happen until it does. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he's not. Did you know that Marcus Majors is going into his 5th year? Did you also know that Javonte Barnes on career rushing yards is only 6 yards behind him? Like,
Crazy.
just stay on the field, man. Like, I want him to stay on the field. That little juke he had last year looked like he phased in and out of a tackle. I mean, it was incredible. If he can do that every week, we will be a much better team for it.
Yeah.
I just need him to do it.
Jimmy.
We may or may not have lost a freshman running back.
Yeah.
Once we have better details on that, we will share them. As far as I know, and the chat can go check right now, if he's still on the online roster, then he's still on the team because they wipe away. If you're dismissed from the team, they wipe you away quickly. So what I don't want to happen, this is what I don't want to happen. A bunch of people saying, oh, Smothers, he's off the team, blah, blah, blah. And everybody's saying, oh, it's fine, you know. No, Lori, no. Tatum's committed. We're talking about Dalen Smothers, Hollywood Smothers. So, anyways, what I don't want to happen is everybody saying, oh, we're good on depth. We don't even need him anyways. Oh, he sounds like a troublemaker. Sounds like blah, blah. I probably got kicked off the team. But like, and then we find out like he had a family member die or something like that, and he had to leave right away. Like medical emergency or something like, and then everybody's going to feel like crap. So what I'm waiting for is for something official, for more information.
It's almost similar to a little bit to the Peyton Bowen thing.
Right. Like everybody was worried Peyton Bowen, like it was a death in the family, a sibling death. So it's like I know we are in the information age. We want to know. This is something that we don't necessarily need to know until something is official. And when something's official, everybody will know. So we know that he went home. He's still on the active roster. So that means he's still on the team officially, according to Jesse James 94.
Now let's talk about a little bit of the schedule. So we're not going to hit every single game. You know, we'll talk about different pieces as we get closer to opening day. But here's something we do want to prompt some of the people in the chat about. What are the 3 best road trips this season? You got 6 to choose from. So, I mean, there you go right there. What are 3 that you feel like are the best road trips? Go ahead and put it in the comments. Trav.
Now, for reminders of what our road trips are: Tulsa, Cincinnati, BYU. We'll include Dallas in that. Lawrence, Stillwater. Again, Tulsa, Cincinnati, BYU, Dallas, Lawrence, Stillwater. Of those 6, what are the 3 best road trips? Best road trips. Interesting.
I'm going to be in Cincinnati. I'll tell you that right now. Just bought the tickets.
Tell you that. Wow. Oh, I was like, man, another one for Cincy, but it's your beautiful bride hopping in the comments. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, it is. Yep. My bad.
Because Midwest is best.
Okay.
Richard, you better be trolling. I'm not talking about McKinley's recruitment for a 3rd time. Said, I'm waiting for Cincinnati. Man, a lot of Cincinnati.
Hey.
Look at this. Yeah, the Tulsa game, you know, if you're in town maybe the night before or something like that, maybe I'll put something together. We'll we'll have maybe we'll have some bourbon up at the crib, and then walk down to a bar or something like that. But that's only if you're going to be in Tulsa the day before, or heck, maybe that night. Who knows? We get a big win, we look good, pitch a shutout maybe. Or maybe Braylon Presley has a good day, but we still win by like 100. That'd be cool too, because I like that kid. Stillwater. That's interesting because Stillwater is a shithole. So like, I've never been excited to go to Stillwater. Like, I'm surprised that Les is the first one to mention Dallas that I've seen, at least. I could have been wrong.
Did y'all not hear him say you could do Dallas? I don't know. I mean, BYU is not surprising for me because anybody wants to go.
Yeah, what are your give me your top three now that we have a good amount in the comment.
I would probably say Dallas, BYU, and Cincy. Cincy for me personally because it's close, so it's a short road trip for me. But also, I like Cincinnati a lot as a city. So excited to go. I've never actually been on the campus at University of Cincinnati.
How far of a drive is it for you? You said
2 hours.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Really, an hour and 45.
Me to Norman.
So,
well, you'll be driving the speed limit, obeying the law.
I'm riding with TJ, so we'll see.
Ooh, okay, we'll see. We'll see. Honestly, so what'd you say? That was your top one?
What, Cincy? Oh, you want me to actually rank them?
Yeah, best three, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Cincy personally would be my top one, and then I would probably go BYU, Dallas. Dallas third only because it's one that happens every year, and we'll always have the opportunity to go. And obviously, well, actually, no, Cincy and BYU, we won't have that opportunity anymore, probably. But
no,
Dallas we will, and BYU, the mountain view out there is just beautiful. Being able to be in Utah and see that view, enjoy some of that stuff would be pretty cool. Had a friend that went to BYU for a few years, so he sent me pictures often of the mountains out there. So it'd just be a beautiful trip to have and take. But that's what I'm thinking personally. Obviously, I know some people feel like Stillwater because the last Bedlam and whatnot. But
good riddance.
Yeah. Tulsa's not even a road trip for you. I mean, shoot.
I got to get on a road.
I mean, how far is it? Like, actually?
Let me get you the exact distance on the map.
I'm gonna guess it before he does. 17 minutes. That's my guess. It's probably shorter than that.
It is to Chapman Stadium, 9 minutes.
9. Wow. Good Lord.
Yeah, it's very close. Very close. So 9 minutes from the crib. So, but yeah, so my top three are BYU, gorgeous backdrop, should be a cool town.
Yeah.
I'm going to see Vikings Broncos the next day in Denver. And then next, I'll go Cincinnati. Again, not a place I've been. So Cincinnati would be cool. Plus, right across the Ohio River. We'll need to link up and figure out what day you're going to Cincinnati because I know TJ would want to do this too. Go over to New Riff. That's right across the Ohio River, like 30 minutes away from the stadium. It's a really good distillery. So we'll have that conversation offline. And then honestly, the third one that I'm looking forward to the most, Lawrence, Kansas. Love me some Lawrence, Kansas. Gorgeous campus. It's going to be their homecoming. Probably going to be the biggest crowd they've ever had.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game, I think. I like Jalen Daniels a lot. I drafted their tight end in my fantasy league, so we'll see. No, I forget. forget. He's going to be my backup to Stogner all year. But yeah, Kansas would be my last one.
Okay. I like that. Pretty good draft. Most people probably wouldn't have chosen Lawrence, but you stuck to your guns.
Let's see. What else we got? Screw these Big 12 towns. Let's talk 24. Hey, we're keeping our eye on the prize. Can't overlook. This is a trap season.
Facts. We're trying to win a Big 12 championship on the way out. Okay. So, and we kind of already, well, I guess we only talked about the home games when the SEC schedule came out, really in depth. But we'll get to that. We will. We'll get to the 2024 games. So, any other questions, guys? I know there's a couple on fall camp. I know I forgot who asked it, but somebody asked what we thought about. Oh, here we go. Your fave five head says Teddy and Gabe seem underwhelmed about the tight ends. What are your thoughts?
I mean, we're thin. Like you can't. We're super thin. We have, a couple second-year guys that one's really hurt, one's been hurt. The other one's true freshman, Cade McIntyre coming in. Blake Smith has 2 catches all time. You have to consider that Teddy especially will not necessarily get too excited about you until you actually have meaningful snaps. I mean, so with Stogner being the only one that's had any snaps, of course, they're definitely going to be underwhelmed by the tight end. But, I mean, when I would get worried and not to say that they don't know all the game, which they do, I would get worried if Teddy gets worried about the backers, and I'd get worried if Gabe gets worried about the offensive line.
Yep.
Other than that, the other stuff is just kind of self-explanatory. Of course, we should be underwhelmed by the tight ends because we don't have any. So don't tell me much about the Vikings game. I'm gonna have to rewatch to see Addison.
Who's playing tonight? Your Vikings, and who are they playing?
Seahawks right now.
Seahawks, okay.
Yeah, and my thing is I don't watch a lot of preseason games simply because you only get to see a little bit of your, like one series of your starters.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'll go watch the highlights of Jordan Addison. I'm just glad he's still on the team after all that speeding incident.
BV Schwartz, are you saying you're worried about offensive line depth, or was that?
I'm definitely not worried about offensive line depth.
I was gonna say I'm not really either, to be honest. Who are you worried about? BV Schwartz, put it in the chat. Let's talk about it, man. Let's process through this together.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Okay, so let's start at left tackle. So Walter Rouse is the starter.
Mm-hmm.
The backup will be Jacob Sexton, who will be ready to go before anything can happen to Rouse. With the left guard, you're going to have likely Caleb Schaefer backing up Savion Byrd. I know that hasn't been announced, but that's what I think is going to happen. You've brought in some depth from Appalachian State to back up Andrew Rame with game experience. You saw him bullying the Aggies D-line that's got 1 billion 5 stars on it. Right guard, McCade Mettauer, I know everybody rolls their eyes at that, but if he's good enough to play, he's good enough to play. You probably have a guy like Jake Taylor kind of behind him. And then you've got Guyton, who might be the best player on the team, So Tyler Guyton at right tackle. backed up by who knows, like a Caden Green or somebody like that. We seem to, we seem to be fine. Yeah, Troy Everett is the center. Troy Everett is the center that is backing up Rain.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm not really, like you said, I'm not really worried about it. Heard they looked pretty good too in camp thus far. So Savion Bird being among one of those that's potentially locking down that left guard spot that beating. Well, Levy was the one who mentioned who had locked down each spot, the left guard blank. So yeah, so
I just should get some playing time this year. Yeah, I mean,
Caden
Green looked really good.
Yeah,
I mean, a future offensive line, with Caden Green, Grant Bricks, the Jakes, Joshua Bates, like the offensive line's in really good hands. If you think about the recruiting that Bill Bedenbaugh has done, if he lands Grant Bricks this year, then 5 of the top 6 recruits he's ever had as an offensive line coach will all be on campus next year. So,
I thought
if Savion comes back,
couldn't recruit,
and he's been better. He's been recruiting better than he ever has. So he's only getting better at it. We'll see if he can get Michael Fasusi in 2025. That boy a 5-star right there.
Ooh-wee. Yeah. That's waiting to happen. I also feel like people forget that he pulled Wanye Morris from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like, did we not?
And honestly, keeping Rouse from going to Nebraska was big time.
I mean, and Guyton. I mean, are we like?
Yeah. Guyton's a dude, man. I'm excited for him.
Possibly 2 back-to-back tackles in the draft. Well, in terms of Anton, and then Guyton has a chance to be a first-round pick as well. All right, guys.
Now it's looking great. Yeah, it is.
It's time. It's been a while, Trav. It's been a minute.
Oh yeah.
We're back in the season, so I figured it's time to bring back our patented game to that. Now, anybody who's been with us for a long time, you know that this is a staple on the JP and Trav show. It's a section where we basically just say, hey, you literally have this or you have that. Gun to your head, what are you doing? So play with lots of guests on here. Please chat, engage. We'll put your answers up there. So here's our first this or that. I saw this on Twitter earlier today. It had 4 options, but I shrunk it to 2 because I thought it was a good one. If you have 1 yard to go, Oklahoma history, are you going with Adrian Peterson or Samaje Perine?
I'm going with the most talented, physically talented running back to ever play at Oklahoma, Adrian Peterson. That's who I'm going with. I don't care if it's a yard. I don't care if it's 100 yards. If I got the option where I need the ball to move forward, I'm taking Adrian. Because keep in mind, I watched so much of his Viking stuff. Like, you could see him when he needed to pick up one. He would almost break the quarterback's hand taking the ball from it. Like, he would get this almost like wind up. Like he was, those punching bag like machines they got in like arcades now.
Yeah.
You could see him kind of like getting ready, almost like doing one of those, but he was about to run the ball, and he would hit the line with so much ferocity. Yeah. Who is a landslide, boy? I love that everybody's hitting AD.
It's not even close.
I
didn't think it would be, to be honest.
Topher.
But I could see. Okay, Topher. Topher, please explain in the chat, because here's the thing: Samaje Perine, I think is potentially one of the most underrated running backs in OU history because he don't get talked about. He's an all-time leading rusher in Oklahoma history, and I feel like we don't hear his name a lot. I get it. There have been more talented backs like Adrian Peterson, Billy Sims, obviously even Joe Mixon that was in the same backfield. as him, but he's not a big personality. I mean, he just got yards, man. Like this. That's just kind of what he did, and he could have came back for another year too. That's the crazy part. He could have came back in 2017, and he still he did it in 3 years. That's crazy to
That'd be
think about.
nice.
But I would go with AD as well. Obviously, like especially if we're talking about in their specific schemes they were in. Like you putting Adrian Peterson all day in the eye? Nah, fam. Like he getting that yard. I don't care who you are. He's getting the yard.
Yeah, he's going to hit hard enough. He's going to detonate somebody. He might run through an offensive lineman on the way, but
Yeah. Somebody said that they felt like Mixon would have been a better choice to put up against AD. But I mean, Samaje
I
was a sure
disagree.
back though.
Maybe getting him out in space or something. But
Yeah.
if you need somebody to bully just in the middle, I mean, yeah, I'm going P Ryan in it.
Okay. All right. Here's the next one. I'm really excited about this one actually.
Oh,
Like this is a good one. The new Big 12 or the ACC? What conference do you like better? Which conference do you feel like is more competitive? And when I say new Big 12, I'm talking about with Arizona, Arizona State, everybody who's coming over.
so are we saying who's the better conference or
Yeah.
who would we want to watch?
Let's do both. Let's do one of each.
Okay. How about you start off this one? You tell me which one's better.
Okay. Yeah. Um, I'm really thinking about it. I mean, top to bottom, the new Big 12 might be better, top to bottom, than the ACC
Well, they do have more teams, so
in the current state. That's fair. Yes, that's fair.
so
But
any top to bottom it should be.
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, because when you think about the ACC, well, okay, hold on. Let me rethink that because I forgot Florida State's good again. Um, we have to see what Miami does. Clemson's Clemson. You know what? I take that back. I take that back. I'm gonna go with the ACC because North Carolina State's been good. North Carolina's been at least decent. Miami's recruiting really well. Florida State's basic, not bad, but like they're trending that way. You got Clemson. Notre Dame. Notre Dame's not counted in the ACC theoretically, even though they play a lot
Correct.
of ACC teams right now.
I honestly think Miami. We might have to Winsipedia this thing.
Oh shoot.
I think Miami's football program has accomplished more than the entirety of the Big 12 combined. I think
Yeah.
because they got 5 titles. Who are all the teams in the new 12 that have won national titles in the last 50 years? I'll wait. All right. Ryan Seller says we are talking history. Okay, cool. All right. Of the new Big 12 and the ACC, which teams will threaten to have a top 10 recruiting class?
Say that one more time, Trev.
Which teams between the two conferences will threaten to have a top 10 recruiting class?
Definitely the ACC. Not even close. You got Miami, Clemson, and Florida State that could all be top 10.
Let's do some.
Probably will be top 10.
Let's see. We're going to go to 247 Sports, do team rankings of last year because, as we all know, the team rankings don't matter yet right now. We'll do 2023. We'll scroll until we find a Big 12 team. We'll stop at the ACC team. So ACC, Miami had 7th overall class. Clemson had the 11th overall class. Florida State had the 19th overall class. Utah with the 20th class. Atta boys. Next is TCU at 21. Okay, so I've got the 20th and the 21st class. Best recruiting classes they got. No natties, no recruiting, no threat to win a national championship this year. I'm taking ACC, man. I judge you at what are you at your best?
Yeah.
And the best is Clemson and Florida State. And again, like I know Miami's been dog water ever since they joined the ACC, but like I said, Miami's history is better than the combined history of all, 18?
Yeah.
No, all 16 Big 12 schools.
Yep. You're absolutely right. That makes sense. The ACC definitely is better at the top, for sure. Yeah. I feel like a lot of the chat says ACC too. Some said Big 12, the new 12.
Like Ryan said, ACC is better recruiting for sure, but so is Texas, and look what it gets them. Well, we can't assume that every team in the ACC is as bad at development and as just dysfunctional as Texas, because Clemson was recruiting worse than them and won national titles while recruiting worse than them.
Yeah.
Florida State has put some stuff together under Norvell. Like, yeah, sure, recruiting rankings aren't everything, but they're certainly not nothing. They're something. And again, yes, the ACC bottom is trash, but how's Arizona football look?
Yeah.
They any good? Arizona State going to be any good this year? Iowa State going to be any good this year? Like just because there's more of them doesn't mean it's always that they're all better. Maybe the middle teams are, but the top end isn't even close. After OU and Texas leaves, this is a good question. And it's just, you can parallel off this. Name me in 2020, at the end of the 2024 season, what are the two teams that play for the Big 12 championship? Two teams that are going to play for the Big 12 championship in 2024. I got my two. But I want to see. I'm gonna take a sip of my bubbly because Olipop don't pay me. Les, OU will not be in the Big 12 in 2024.
Same to you, Aaron.
Same to you, Aaron. 2024 we're going with here. 2024. Utah TCU, Utah K-State, K-State TCU. Very good. Texas Tech, Kansas State. A lot of Kansas State. That's good. That's good. My upper echelon would certainly be Utah, K-State, TCU. My upper echelon. I like what Joey McGuire's doing at Tech, but I mean, those are a bunch of teams that have not been important nationally for most of our lives. And those are going to be the best two teams going forward in the Big 12, according to the chat. Like, I know Utah, we love Utah. I love me some Utah because they packed Lincoln Riley up and sent him home twice. But just saying.
Heisman winner.
It's just pretty wild that there will be two teams that have – yeah, it is pretty wild. 5 years ago, if I had asked this question, everybody would have said OSU.
Yeah.
But no OSU on this one.
No OSU at all. Yep, Jimmy said it. No little brother. All right. On to our last one. And what is often our favorite one on this show because we both love food. Our food question is catfish or salmon?
Man.
What are we going with? Chat and Trav.
It's so, yeah, that's a good point by Aaron Nolan. Nobody said Colorado. I'll let the chat fill it out a little bit. So the thing on this is like salmon, you could do lox and bagels. You could do smoked salmon. You could do grilled salmon. You could do honey cured salmon. You could do, I'm starting to sound like Bubba Gump, but you could do cedar plank is good to cook salmon on.
Aaron was really taken back by that question. He said, "Oh, wow, that's tough. That's funny."
Let's see, tuna. Okay, that's not an option.
What were you killing me? I'm dead. We have prayer tonight. Oh Lord.
Depends on the function. Okay, Matt knows what's up. Catfish fry, smoked salmon. That's the thing. What are you going with, JP?
I love me some salmon, but man, you can't get like the best fried catfish is better than any salmon I've ever had. The best salmon I've ever had, I would say personally. So that's where I'm going. I got a place right down the street from my house that does some crazy catfish. They be putting lemon pepper on it too. Woo! Man.
Yeah? What's it called?
It's called King Shark's Fish and Chicken.
King Shark's Fish and Chicken. Okay.
Yeah, they got a lot of those type of places up here in Indianapolis. Fish and chicken places. But hey.
Why's that? Why do they have a lot of fish and chicken places in Indianapolis?
I don't know. I think everyone I've been to has been run by a Middle Eastern family. But hey.
Is that a thing? Is there a big Middle Eastern community in Indianapolis?
There's a decent amount. One of my best friends he doesn't look it like you would think he's white, but he's full-blood Syrian. So, I got to meet a lot of Middle Eastern people growing up because of that, and went to some of their parties, hookah, all that good stuff. But
hey, I'll tell you what, my boy Ellie Hakeem and Mark Hakeem, man, they do the hookah up right. You go in the living room, they had one of them big old hookahs.
Yeah.
Looked like a bar stool. Yeah, they had it going, man. Not 9 minutes. 9 minutes till what? I don't know.
I think she just caught up on the fact that Tulsa is only 9 minutes from your house.
Oh, man, the chat be lagging. Got to be catfish, right? I don't know. Is it catfish, Aaron? Honestly, I feel like I got to go with salmon.
Really?
Man, you can have some nice sushi grade salmon. Man, I feel like you can do so much with salmon. Salmon cakes, Smoked salmon is elite, though. I won't lie. Smoked salmon is elite.
Mm.
Yeah. Smoked salmon with capers, red onions, chopped eggs. She having that lox and bagels. That's that brunch go-to. I remember one time, I don't know what I was doing the night before, but I was supposed to meet my folks at Bonefish Grill for brunch, and I ordered the lox and bagels, and I won't lie, I was fighting a hangover pretty bad. And turns out smoked salmon is not the greatest hangover food that you could ever imagine. So not a great brunch for me. I think I packed it up to go. But going high quality salmon is untouchable. Yeah. No, I feel you. Can you grill catfish? You can grill anything.
Yeah. I don't know that I've had
it fall apart a little bit, but
yeah. Okay.
You can technically grill anything.
Yeah.
Like a Willet Grill. We need a Willet Grill YouTube. We'll just put all kinds of stuff on there.
Hey, if somebody grills catfish, tag the JP and Trash Show on Twitter so we can see. Please, because I want to see that. That would be hilarious.
Hey, you could do it. No, yeah, it's a good question. I think my final answer is salmon, though.
Salmon. Okay. I respect it. I do. I love
like even if you had like a catfish fry or something like that, I feel like so much of it just ends up being like you're just eating so much batter. And like,
Yeah.
especially if you're drinking beers and all that, like you're just like, oh, there's just so much bread that you're bringing down.
Yeah.
Although Matt Hayes knows what's up. Salmon kind of like the ACC, high ceiling. Catfish like the Big 12, always pretty good.
Hey, there you go. There you go. That's a great analogy. I gotta tweet that on the. I'm gonna tweet that on the show page. That's pretty good. So
That's fantastic.
you had to have been there. That's what it is.
Matt, what's your Twitter account? Matt, throw your Twitter account in the chat. And if you say something like Red Dirt Sport or something like that, I'm gonna go, what? Make sure it's you. Grilled fish on a hot rack. On a hot rock? Grilled catfish on a hot rock at the lake?
What?
Man, I hope you sterilize that rock.
I know.
Have you seen their cooking rocks now? Like pebbles?
No.
You know who Uncle Roger is? He's this Asian comedian, but he plays like this Asian uncle that he basically trashes all the white people that try and cook Asian food. He hates Jamie Oliver, but he makes fun of them, and they were cooking rocks. That was funny. Yeah, Matt, you got to get on Twitter. You're probably on Threads. Don't give us your Threads screen
I
name.
just tweeted it.
We won't be there.
You're welcome, Matt.
I will not be at the scrimmage on Saturday. I think I can speak for JP in saying that he will not be there either.
Yep.
I will be at the lake. You know, these last couple weekends before the season, everybody taking vacations, this, that, and the other. It's countdown, man. I got Mama's birthday, like the weekend before the season, and I got 2 different lake trips with 2 different groups this weekend, next weekend. So we're counting down, you know, until my weekends for, I don't know, 4 months. Like weekends for 4 months are gone. So yeah, I'm not going to the scrimmage. I'm sure I will have plenty of people there telling me all kinds of stuff. So
yeah,
I'll have something for you.
Well, guys,
next week we'll have tons to talk about because it'll either be really good news or really bad news.
Yeah, well, you know, Miss Lori is going to be back here and, you know, really, really hurting or super happy.
Yeah.
We'll say a prayer for you.
See, the scrimmage Thursday. Maybe I'll do the JP and Trav show live from the scrimmage at Union when Union takes on Lee Summit North. I'll be like, hey, yo, Williams. Hey,
Williams,
be like, hey, come talk to the people and tell them why you picked Missouri.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna be in good shape.
Yeah, I like it. I like where we're at.
Absolutely. All right, everybody.
And we love
Appreciate y'all.
Yes. Yes, we do. And we'll see you back here next Thursday, same time, 9 p.m. Central Time. Looking forward to getting into the season and everything like that. Not that far away. Hopefully we get some good news on Monday.
Good news. Good news. We're getting good news Saturday. Just good news Monday.
Yeah. All right.
Say a prayer for Lori. Say a prayer for Lori.
God, we ask that you cover Lori right now and stop her from being anxious about a 17-year-old's decision. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Good night, everybody.
Good night.